cup of coffee. What a freshly brewed day, RSUvians! Grab your cup and join us here on Coffee Break, where stories are served warm, real, and straight from the heart of RSU. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat, whether you're watching from your office, classroom, bahay, or habang nagkakape. Thank you for joining us today on Coffee Break. I am Eliza from Office of Media and Public Affairs, your host for this episode. And today, we are brewing a very special conversation as we celebrate National Women's Month through stories of leadership, purpose, courage, and empowerment. Stay with us until the end because this isn't just an inspiring conversation. It's a celebration of women who lead, serve, and create a meaningful impact. For this episode, we're shining the spotlight on inspiring women leaders, from public service to student leadership. This is our special National Women's Month feature, She Leads the Power of Her Leadership. In partnership with the RSU Gender and Development Office, under the leadership of Ms. Caroline D. Fitalver, we celebrate women who lead with heart, speak with purpose, and inspire through service. Joining us today, a proud RSUian alumna making her mark in public service, and our dynamic female college governors, the next generation of women leaders. So stay tuned and be inspired by the power of woman leadership. This is Coffee Break Episode 6, She Leads the Power of Her Leadership. And welcome back to Coffee Break Episode 6, She Leads the Power of Her Leadership. And for our first segment this episode, Leading with Purpose, Stories of Strength and Service, we're shining the spotlight of a woman whose leadership journey continues to inspire many, especially young leaders who inspire to serve with purpose and integrity. She is currently serving on her second term as Sangguniang Bayan member of Ajongan, and she is also a proud RSUian alumna and a former Sangguniang Kabataan Federation president of Ajongan. Let's all welcome Honorable Kyla A. Yap. Good day, Honorable Kyla, and welcome to Coffee Break. Please greet our live viewers.
Hello po. Hi, hello. Good day po sa ating lahat ng mga nanonood. Kung nasan man po kayo ngayon, Happy Women's Month po sa ating lahat.
Yes, we're so happy to have you here at our special episode in Women's Month celebration. At syempre, before po tayo mag-dive into a deeper conversation, start po tayo sa medyo light muna na tanong.
Sure.
So, kapag hindi po kayo busy sa public service, what does your ideal coffee break looks like?
I love reading books and writing short stories, poetry, poems. Nag-compose din ako ng songs.
Wow!
I usually play guitar, piano. Wala lang ng stress. So, yun yung ginagawa ko kapag walang mga duties and responsibilities na kailangan. And ngayon, may bago, naglalaro ng pickleball.
Okay. Wow, I love that. At ang ganda ring makita na behind every strong leader is also a real person who value rest, connection, and balance. Okay. So, and I think that's very important po sa panahon ngayon, especially sa ating viewers and sa ating women leaders and students who think that leadership has to be serious all the time.
Yes.
Okay po.
actually.
So, Honorable Kyla, you have such an inspiring journey from being a youth leader before to now serving in local government. So, before we talk about leadership, how would you describe yourself outside your title po?
Siguro ako, as a person, I'm very jolly.
Mhm.
I'm a very jolly person, madaldal ako, makulit, energetic, super. Ever since hanggang ngayon, simula nung bata pa ako hanggang ngayon. Sabi nga nila sa akin, nasobrahan daw ako ng vitamin C ng bata. Kaya hanggang ngayon, yung energy ko daw sobra-sobra. Pero noong una, I didn't understand the purpose. And also my voice daw kasi malakas. Pero now I know why. Kasi I have this platform to deliver and to speak for the people talaga, to represent as well.
Yes.
So, yun. Parang it took me years then to realize all of those. So, ayun.
Okay, thank you so much po. And then looking back, how did your leadership journey begin and what first inspired you to enter po sa public service?
At first kasi, nung elementary to high school, hindi naman talaga ako officer sa school. And hindi ako active sa school. I mean, sa reporting, ayoko nagsasalita sa maraming tao, ayoko nagsasalita sa harap, ayoko nagre-reporting. So, sabi ko, bakit ganito yung boses ko? Maganda daw, sabi ng mga tao. So, sabi ko, okay, sige, push lang natin yan kung ganon. Pero, nung graduate ako ng grade 12, may opportunity na mag-run as SK. I was supposed to study in Manila, pero parang may redirection yata si Lord sa akin. Kasi nung mag-enroll na ako and supposed to be magiging accepted na ako sa isang university, my favorite university, ang nangyari is, nag-brown out, nawala ng wifi, and blah, blah, blah. So, the rest is history. Nag-file ako yung pinakalas na nag-file ng SK. Kahit sabi, malakas yung kalaban ko. So, sabi ko, Lord, ikaw nang bahala. And nanalo ako bilang SK chair. And then, nanalo din ako bilang SK Federation President. At first year college naman ako dito sa Romblon State University. Sabi ko, sige, tataas ko na lang yung bandera ng Romblon State University. Sabi ko, wala sa school kung saan ka nagtapos. Kaya mo makipagsabayan outside this province. So, ayun, yung naging start ng leadership journey ko. And later on ko lang na-realize na lahat pala noon may rason. At lahat pala ng yun is to build you. For you to become a better person. Parang you have to experience the pain and everything. Kagaya na sabi ko kagabi din sa kasedyahan na parang you're a diamond kasi you were polished through yung mga pressure, yung mga hardship, but then you're born to shine.
Wow.
So, yun.
Grabe. Parang unexpected po pala. Hindi niyo po pala planado na
Hindi po.
mag-enter po sa public
at
service.
First time ko po na nagsalita, nung nag-deliver ako ng speech for SK, nanginginig pa ako. Pati yung kamay ko, yung buong katawan ko. Tapos, merong isang adult na lumapit sa akin after ko magsalita. Sabi niya, alam mo, magaling kang magsalita, may potential ka. And may namit akong isang asawa ng pastor na lumapit din sa akin na, you have a very beautiful voice. You use that voice.
Wow.
Yung parang, nga, no, kaya pala.
Wow. Alam na po namin yung story behind. Thank you so much, Honorable Kayla. And another question po, from being SK Federation President to now a Sangguniang Bayan member, what has changed the most in you as a leader po?
Siguro dati, happy-go-lucky, nung SK ka, youth ka, okay lang sa'yo kahit ano, kung ano man, ginagawa mo. Pero pag naging counselor ka na, medyo mas mabigat. Kasi you have to be responsible of all of your actions. Parang hindi ka lang kabataan. Parang ngayon, hindi lang kabataan yung dinadala mo. Yes. Kundi all the people of Ojongan. Kasi before, I represent the youth sector as SK Federation President. But now that I'm a counselor, I represent the people of Ojongan. Yeah. Not just in my municipality, but in the province of Romblon and outside the province of Romblon. So, may pressure siya kasi ako po yung naging youngest way back in 2022. Youngest in Mimaropa Region 4B. Yes. At babae pa, no? May stigma po, may stereotyping, hindi po mawawala yun. Yes. Pero I'm very thankful na kahit papano, may mga lessons, may mga mistakes, pero naging better person naman tayo dahil din sa mga yun. At siguro yung mga nabago po is pahinga. Yung pahinga ngayon is yung very talaga needed, and that's the luxury that we need right now. Dati kasi po, nung SK ako, sobra yung trabaho. As in, grabe po, sa isang linggo, at wala pa akong love life noon. Kasi hindi po kaya talaga. Sobrang hirap po. Student ka, tapos ikaw ay SK Fed, and you want to represent, and you want to be the voice of the youth sector. So, ayokong ma-fail sila ng hindi ko gagawin yung trabaho ko. So, ginawa ko po talaga lahat ng makakaya ko during my SK time. Tapos, hindi ko na in-expect na parang pagdating mo pala ng SB, kailangan pala medyo maghinay-hinay ka din. Kailangan may relaxation din. So, nung SK po, wala pahinga. Sobra. Kahit po Sabado-Linggo. Tapos ngayon po medyo kahit papaano meron na
Mas
rin.
maluwag po.
Opo, meron na rin
May
luxury na rest.
Pwede na maglaro ng pickleball.
Pwede na maglaro ng pickleball.
Okay. Thank you so much po for your service po. Was there any moment when you realized na this is what I want to do? I want to serve the people.
That was way back in 2023 or 2022, I think. Meron ako na-meet na pinag-pray niya ako. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, kasi ako nagdududa pa if mag-run ako as counselor sa munisipyo. So, pinag-pray niya ako ng calling ko. Pinag-pray niya ako na journey ko. So, nung pinag-pray niya ako, ang sabi niya sa akin, meron kang isang table sa room mo and meron kang isang lamp. Pero first time namin nag-meet, tas pinag-pray niya ako. Hindi ko siya kilala as a person. Hindi niya rin ako kilala as a person. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, dun sa drawer ko na yon sa study table na nag-iisa, merong picture siya nakita and may note. Yung note daw na yon, yun daw yung magiging basihan ko kung magra-run ako talaga as counselor. So, hindi ko pa alam calling ko that time. So, binuksan ko, pag-uwi ko ng bahay, parang hindi ako naniwala. Kasi nagduda ako, sabi ko, totoo ba yan? Baka eme lang yan. Diba? Pag-uwi ko ng bahay, binuksan ko yung drawer, hinanap ko, may pictures doon, may box. Pagbukas ko, may note nga. May note. So, tinignan ko yung note. Pagtingin ko ng note, yung note pala, created pa siya noong 2021 pa. At ang nakasulat doon sa note, kailangan yung speech mo bongga. So, parang pahiwatig siya sa akin na yung boses mo ganyan dahil may reason. Dahil meron kang magandang platform at malaking, a huge platform na naghihintay sa'yo. So, that's when I realized na, okay, so this is my calling. Ayun. So, revelation.
Okay, thank you so much po. Parang talagang nakalaan ka po para sa public service na gumawa talaga ng way si Lord para sa inyo.
Gumawa talaga ng way si Lord.
Okay. And then, another question po for you. What one challenge that really tested you as a woman in leadership? Bilang babae po.
Marami. Kasi pag sinasabi niyo challenges ng women, isang word lang yung kailangan dyan. The word demos. Discrimination, exploitation, marginalization, oppression, and subordination. So, lahat ng yan present. Na-experience natin yan.
Until now, nangyayari po talaga.
Yes, until now. And we're still fighting for the rights of women until now. Kasi may discrimination kahit saan. Even how we dress,
Yes.
even if how we speak, how we deliver ourselves, how we dress, or sometimes siguro kung paano tayo makipag-usap sa ibang tao. Na they don't know na we're not comfortable dun sa ibang mga pinag-usapan na gender sensitive. So, may mga ganong adjustment. And sometimes, kapag lalaki na gain ng weight, walang comment. Pero pag women, ang ganon is maraming comment.
Maraming sinasabi
Maraming
po.
sinasabi. And that's part of discrimination.
Yeah.
Sometimes, exploitation kasi, na-exploit ka sa kayang ibigay dahil parang dinidisregard ka na nalang as women, babae yan, hindi kayang gawin yung mga ganitong bagay, ganyan. Pero we are still trying to prove them wrong.
Yes.
So, ayun, na-marginalize tayo. And minsan may oppression kasi some people will take everything against you just because you're a woman. No?
Totoo.
Tapos nasa-subordinate ka na, hindi, kami dapat kasi masculinity eh.
Yes.
Dapat lalaki, ganun.
Yes po. But how do you stay grounded po with the pressure when it's get overwhelmed?
Siguro kinakausap ko yung mga friend ko na before pa ako maging into politics. Yung magre-remind ako, sino ka ba talaga after or before politics? Para ma-remind ako, okay, dito ako galing. Ito nga pala ako. Nakakalimutan ko kung sino ako. Oops, masyado na tayong mataas. Baba muna tayo. So, laging may self-check at nakakatulong yung mga friends mo
Yes.
sa moral compass na ma-realign ka ulit na, oops, hindi yan yung calling mo, dito ka lang, ito yung para sa'yo, nakakalimutan mo yung ganito. So yun, laging nare-remind ko. At ako po, laging nagbi-visit sa mga malalayong lugar. Titiyan ko yung mga life nila doon. Nakaka-humble. Sabi ko, ay, grabe, ito pala yung sitwasyon nila. Tapos, anong karapatan ko na magyabang, magmataas? Pantay-pantay lang naman tayo lahat. I mean, iba-iba lang yung damit natin, tapos kung saan tayo family, pero pares lang human being pa rin tayo.
Yes. Nakakatuwa isipin na despite po na narating nyo, stay humble pa din at
Yes
lagi
po.
nyo pong chine-check yung sarili nyo. That's very important kasi minsan pag wala pong nagtatap sa atin, ang hirap makita yung sarili at pag wala tayong friends and mentors. So,
Yes
thank
po.
you for sharing po na kailangan talaga natin ng friends sa life po natin
Yes
and
po.
mentors.
Meron akong isang friend po na psychometrician. Siya yung nagre-remind sa akin na ganito daw pag medyo hindi ka na comfortable or mahirap. Hawakan mo daw yung kamay, yung chest mo dito. Tapos sabi mo, self-check, okay pa ba ako?
Self-check. Okay pa naman. Okay
So,
pa po.
ganon. Yung lagi niya nire-remind sa akin.
Okay, thank you po. And how would you manage being a busy woman leader while still making space for love, relationship, and the people who matters to you po?
Ay, kinikilig ako, charit. lang. Mahirap siya i-balance kasi nasa LDR din po ako. Nasa long distance relationship kami. And nasa Manila siya nag-work din yung career niya, dito ako.
Okay.
Pero sabi ko, hindi ko naman siya pwedeng pagdamutan kasi supportive siya sa career ko. So, we find time always na mag-talk. I mean, mag-video call, mag-chat. And pag wala pong mga schedule minsan, at saka wini-weigh ko po yung mga kailangan kong attendance. Sinasabi ko, saan ba ako hindi masyado magre-regret kung hindi ko inattendan or pinuntahan yung isang bagay? Kung ito ba inattendan ko, mas magre-regret ba ako na hindi ako nag-attend dito? Or hindi ko to pinuntahan? So, yun. Kaya po minsan, may mga event po na wala ako. Alam niyo na kung bakit. Wini-weigh ko saan ako mas hindi magre-regret at mas magre-regret. Para ayokong balikan sa uli na sana pala ganito. Sana pala ganyan. So, mas mahirap kasi gawin at mag-regret ka dun sa isang bagay na hindi mo nagawa kaysa sa mga bagay na nagawa mo.
How about po sa family mo? How you make time with your family po?
Sa family naman, ako kasi talaga family-oriented talaga. So, at the moment, ako nagpapaaral sa kapatid ko sa college. FEU siya nag-aaral. At ako yung nagpapaaral sa kanya. And pagka Tuesday, Thursday, usually, tinutulungan ko talaga si Papa sa bahay. Kasi si Mama ko na-stroke. Hindi niya magalaw yung half body niya. So, nag-equal distribution ng mga gawain ni Papa ko. At nakakatuwa naman kasi si Papa din, very responsible din at maalaga din kay Mama. So, sana all, Pao. So, yun.
Yes po. With such a busy schedule, paano niyo po nabibigyan ng time ang music and writing katulad na sinabi niyo po kanina? And is it an escape or part lang talaga siya ng kung ano po kayo? At can we have a sample of your single kung meron man po?
Last year, nag-release ako ng single ko. Ang title is My First by Kyla Yap. Available siya sa Spotify, Apple Music,
Wow.
sa lahat ng online na music platform. Sa YouTube meron din. At sinulat ko kasi siya nung high school ako.
Ang tagal na po
So,
pala.
yes po. So, nung time na sabi ko, parang kaya ko na mag-release ng song. So, nag-release ako ng song. Tapos yun yung first song ko na ako rin yung gumawa ng tono. At yan po ay talagang hobby ko. At sometimes escape din. So, parang nakaka-relax po sa music. Parang hindi ko kaya nang walang music sa buhay ko.
Yes.
No? So, ayun.
Sample? Kaya niyo po ba mag-sample?
Parang pwede naman kasi walang gitara. Wow.
Okay, walang gitara. So, hindi ata tayo mabibigyan ng sample ni Honorable Kyla.
Pakinggan ka na lang muna ng music.
Okay, pakinggan niyo po sa Spotify at may YouTube channel po kayo.
Yes po, Kyla Yap.
Kyla Yap. Okay po. Before we wrap up this segment, what message would you like to share with young women, especially RSUvian, who want to lead but still doubting themselves?
Siguro yung magbibigay ko na advice din sa kanila. Maniwala kayo sa sarili ninyo dahil walang ibang gagawa nun kung hindi kayo. And a lot of people will doubt you. But God only knows your calling and He knows His plans for you. You may have plans for yourself, but God has greater plans for you. And once you surrender your life, wala ka na dapat i-worry pa.
Yes.
So kung natatakot ka na mag-take ng risk, bring out the lion in you. The lion is bold, courageous, that's why that's the king of the jungle. So in life, ganun din, survival of the fittest. Parang you have to bring out the lion in you dahil sa labas, parang jungle na survival of the fittest. May makikita ka na mga elepante, may makita ka na iba pang mga wild creatures. But then, ang isang lion kasi, hindi siya nagno-know kapag may mga obstacles na parating. Big or small obstacles, haharapin mo yan ng buong buo. Kasi if ever you fail, may lessons. But that doesn't mean that you're a failure. It's just that meron kang makukuha from that. na pwede mo magamit. And sometimes you have to overgo dun sa mga parang mga challenges na kinakaharap mo para lang malaman mo na meron pa palang dapat matutunan. Sometimes may pain, may heartbreak sa mga college, di ba? Sa mga kabataang kababaihan at women empowerment, pwede rin kayo umamin sa crush nyo kung gusto ninyo. Naranasan ko rin yan. Di ba? At na-reject.
Part siya ng
ng growth din and ng life. Pero masasabi mo at the end of the day na, you know your worth. No? Yung right na tao darating din sa'yo. And love yourself first until mas malalaman mo kung paano ka dapat mamahalin. Kasi kung hindi mo alam kung paano mahalin yung sarili mo, mangangapa ka, paano ba ako dapat itrato?
Yes.
Diba? So, love yourself first until you find someone who can love you more than you love yourself.
Wow, napakagandang reminder po sa lahat ng ating mga leaders, especially women leaders po na want to serve na minsan nagda-doubt sa kanilang sarili. Thank you so much, Honorable Kyla, for that wonderful interview po with you.
Yes.
Such a great experience po para sa akin. Thank you so much for sharing not just your leadership journey, but also the heart behind your service. Your journey is truly inspiring, especially to our students and young women who inspire to lead with purpose and serve with integrity. From one inspiring woman leader in public service, let us now hear from the young women leaders who are making their own mark right here in the university. Minsan, nagsisimula rin ito sa student organizations, in classrooms, in everyday choices to step up and take responsibility. To everyone watching us live, stay with us because our next segment brings together some of RSU's rising women leaders. This is Coffee Break Episode 6. She leads the power of her leadership.
Inukit ang araw at mga bituin sa bandila nating nagniningning. Lipin ng atletang kababaihan. Itaas ang bandera, bawat pagbagsak, bawat pag-angat sa kawalan ay may paraan. Kung ayaw na, kung suko na, apoy ay liliyab. Kababaihan, tinig ay nadarama. Tibay mo'y kakaiba. Lakas at tansisay. Kababaihan, tinig ay nadarama. Tibay mo'y kakaiba. Lakas at tansisay. Binuhay mo ang pag-asa ko. Ano bang laman ng hininto ang puso mo para ipagkaisa ang lahat ng Pinoy? Kababaihan, tinig ay nadarama. Tibay mo'y kakaiba. Lakas at tansisay. Kababaihan, tinig ay nadarama. Tibay mo'y kakaiba. Lakas at tansisay.
Kailangan maging practical ka sa panahon ngayon. Kailangan ipaglaban mo kung ano ang nasa inyo. Huwag mo hahayaang mawawala.
Ang masasabi ko sa kabataan at mga kababaihan, sa mga kababaihan, kailangan magtulong-tulong tayo
Ang gusto ko po yung unang-una yung ipagtanggol ang West Philippine Sea natin.
And welcome back to Coffee Break Episode 6. She leads the power of her leadership. For this segment, Rising Voices, the next generation of women leaders, we are joined by the female governors of 5 college organizations in Romblon State University. Women who continue to lead with passion, strength, and purpose in their respective colleges. Joining us today are the governors of Sibaso, Caso, Setso, Sedso, and Sisi Madiso. Welcome to Coffee Break, governors. Say hi to our live audiences.
Hi!
Meron din tayong audience dito sa studio, so pwede kayong mag-say hi.
Hello guys!
Ayan, so grabe. Parang nakaka-pressure kasi ang gaganda ng ating mga governors. Pinaghandaan po nila ang Coffee Break natin this Women's Month episode. Alright. So, again, welcome to our Coffee Break, this special episode. Can you please introduce yourself first? So let's start with the governor of SEDSO. All right.
Hi, good day to everyone who is watching. I am Shulamite Benitez Faigao and I am the governor of the College of Education Student Organization.
And hello everyone, hello to our viewers. My name is Teon Bea Fausto. I am the college governor of the College of Computing, Multimedia Arts and Digital Innovation.
Hello everyone, I am April Joyner Ciso, the governor of the College of Business and Accountancy Student Organization.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Yuvanica Grace Jacinto, the governor of the College of Engineering and Technology Student Organization.
And I am Precious Laika Perez de la Vega, the governor of the College of Arts and Sciences Student Organization.
Wow, hindi lang pala mukha ang magaganda, pati names. Very unique ang mga pangalan po natin mga governors. And I'm so excited to ask questions and hear your answers sa episode na ito. Excited na rin ba kayo?
Yes.
Alright, so let's start. In one word, just one word, okay? How would you describe yourself as a leader?
I'm a pathfinder.
Pathfinder, okay.
All right, one word. I would say that I am instrumental.
Instrumental.
Sa akin naman po, I would say that I am optimistic.
For me, probably I'm flexible.
For me po, I would use the word shadow.
Very unexpected ang mga sagot na ating mga governors. Pero ang gaganda ng kanilang mga sagot na pinapakilala lang na very diverse ang leadership, no? Hindi pare-parehas, but lahat ng leadership style is talagang importante, right?
Yes.
So, now let's begin with your stories. Okay. So, ang first question is para sa lahat pa din, right? So, let's start with a simple question. What kind of leader are you? So, let's start with you.
Okay po, so I am the kind of leader po who loves to work behind the scenes. Yan. I love to teach my officers po various things. Halimbawa po, kasi di ba, when you're a governor, there's this unwritten rule na you have to know most, if not everything, about handling an organization. Last year po, I was the mathematics major organization president, and I used to prefer doing everything by my own, save for the letters because I had a dependable secretary back then. Pero being in a college organization po kasi meant realizing that doing everything on your own is not possible kasi you'll get burned out even before your term ends. So, there are things po na initially, ako lang po yung may alam kung paano gawin. Pero, fortunately, I have the love and patience for teaching my officers how to do this particular something. And I think that is one of the reasons why SEDSO is a functional organization because I make sure that there is always someone for this specific job. And that's how I empower po my officers so that when the time comes that someone has to do this specific job again, meron na po may lakas ng loob na gumawa po nun.
Yes, actually, masasabi mo na effective yung pagiging leader mo if napapasunod mo yung mga subordinates, right? So, next po tayo.
Sa akin naman, sabi ko kanina, flexible. Kasi for me, as in my leadership naman, if I would describe my leadership, flexible because Ayun, it is very important that we are able to adjust and adapt on the things happening around us. And yes, flexible kasi we're not always right. And there are times na tama yung ginagawa, hindi. And we have to listen to our people, the people that we lead with. And that is something na I think na-apply ko first time pa lang na naging leader ako kasi I also started first year pa lang as the publication president, the editor-in-chief. And ayun, ganun ko in-apply yung leadership ko. So every time we need to do something, every time na meron kaming projects or meron kaming something inside the organization, we do it with the idea of everyone. No? So it's not always me, it's not always my idea, it's not always my perspectives and my decision. So ayun, flexible po kasi nag-a-adapt and nag-a-adjust din po ako sa kung ano yung tingin ng buong council na okay and tama.
Yes, that's very good attitude ng pagiging leader. Kasi minsan, kapag leader ka, akala ng iba dapat ikaw yung susunod, ikaw lang yung nasa taas palagi. But hindi yun dapat. Ang pagiging leader, dapat ikaw yung nag-serve, right? Sa officers mo din at sa student, right? So, thank you for that answer. Next po tayo.
Okay. Sa akin naman po, well, syempre po mag-share muna ako ng maliit na background about
Hindi naman po awat ng 1 hour.
Yes po, okay po. So,
Okay.
eto nga po, hindi naman po talaga ako initially student leader nung high school ako. So, pagkapasok ko po ng college, hindi din po talaga ako, never po talaga ako nag-try na pumasok talaga sa leadership since meron din po talaga akong fear pagdating po sa mga tao. So, ganun po.
Introvert.
Yes, ganun. Siguro. Siguro po ganun po talaga. At the same time po, pumasok lang po talaga ako ng sa leadership nung second year, yung lumipat po ako ng college po. Since galing din po ako sa San Agustin campus, criminology student po ako before.
Okay.
And yun nga po, masasabi ko po na isa akong adaptive na leader. Since aside from being a student leader inside the campus, I am also a leader outside. Hindi lang naman po sinasabi natin na leader tayo when it comes to these aspects. I mean, maraming aspects po ng buhay natin. And doon ko po masasabi na adaptive ako. It's because kaya ko pong mag-jive with different backgrounds, with different people. But I'm not saying na kaya ko na talaga. But at the same time, ayun, na-expose na tayo with different situations, with different challenges, and with different people. And doon ko po masasabi talaga na I am an adaptive leader. And masasabi ko rin po kasi na dito po sa loob ng organization, dito po sa college organization, specifically sa Sibaso, doon may mga instances po kasi talaga na, ano tawag dyan? May mga instances po na sometimes meron tayong may mga dumadating na mga unexpected situations, diba? Especially sa org natin.
Hindi nawawala.
Yes
talaga.
po. Specifically, may times na kulang tayo sa resources.
Diyan natin test kung gaano ka
Yes po. So, sometimes, as a leader, kailangan nating malaman kung ano yung kailangan based on what does it, kung ano yung kailangan ng situation. That's why, as a student leader, kailangan nating maging adaptive. And yes, I believe I am an adaptive leader.
Wow. Thank you. Yun naman sabi ko.
Grabe si Gov.
Sige,
Bow
sunod
down.
na po tayo.
Alright. First, I would like to say that I commend all the governors here, including you, Gov Laika. Grabe si Gov April. Nakaka-proud kayong lahat. Okay, it's, women. Alright. As to what kind of leader am I would say that I am very organized. My friends know that. They saw how I keep track of things on my calendar and my task tracker. I even subscribed sa mga app trackers para lang ma-keep track ko lahat ng mga ginagawa ko. I can say that I can't live without a tracker. And so I believe that that's what's making me efficient as a leader. And then, but enough with that, I would say that I was made to serve because I have the heart that always look up to its people, that's always being mindful of what the community needs and not just does something for compliance.
Yes.
I'm done with that. Well, before, I must admit, kasi, di ba, mayroong mga sineset ang universities, oh, you have to do this, you have to, and so,
Yeah.
we do it. But, lately, upon reflecting on things, I believe that I'm like this because I saw problems that sometimes people don't see, and then I create solutions for it. I have visions, I am very passionate, and I am the leader who shares that visions and those passion with others and eventually create a good collective that does something to create solutions for that problem. I try to build a good collective who envisions the same visions as I have, and then we make things together to solve that problem. And I believe that system of influencing and sharing my visions and passion with others is what's making me an efficient leader. And I will keep on doing so and being so.
Wow. Thank you so much. Next po tayo. Governor Pesh.
Grabe. Wait, let me breathe for a second. Kasi grabe, intense na yung mga sagot nila.
Parang hindi mga governors ang kausap ko ngayon, no?
Anyway, like I said earlier, I am a pathfinder. And that is why, masasabi ko talaga na my methods as a leader is adaptable to maraming time mag-prepare, pero pwede ding on the spot, pwede ding 2 days lang, pwede ding 1 day lang. Basta kung kakailanganin, nandyan agad-agad at gagawa ng paraan. Because when I was very young, I was raised in a family and in a church where they would teach us kung paano mag-make things from scratch, kung paanong kahit saan ka pumunta, handa kang mag-pray, handa kang kumanta, handa kang mag-preach, do anything that you have to do. And when I reached college, kasi nung high school, bida-bida talaga ako eh. So when I reached college, my first year was the pandemic season na online lang nung first semester. At hindi pa ako officially getting into, wala pa ako dun sa list ng enrolled. Kinuha na ako ng department namin na tumakbo para sa department position as the PRO of political science. So, that time pa lang, knowing na online ang platform, and nag-a-adjust pa in the new normal, we had to be pathfinders. We didn't have a choice. And every time na mayroong opportunity na binibigay sa akin ng university for the past 4 years of my student leadership, masasabi ko talaga na yung mga experiences na yon is what shaped my character as a pathfinder. Dahil kahit nakakabigla minsan, nakaka-tense, nakaka-stress, but the fact that you are a pathfinder means that you're gonna do it anyway. And it's gonna work. And it's gonna help a lot of people. So, I really think that I myself am a pathfinder. Kasi kung anong kailangan, nandyan. Konti man ng time, marami pa mang time, gagawa ng paraan, basta mangyari at basta para sa aming college at para sa university.
Wow.
Yes.
Deserve yun ng clap, guys. Yes. Grabe.
Clap for everyone.
Napaka-blessed na Romblon State University na meron kaming governors na katulad niya. What made you say yes to leadership in your college? Sa lahat to. So, lahat pa rin kayo sasagot.
Can I volunteer?
Sure.
Alright, ganito kasi yun.
Nag-chika.
Okay. To be honest, I did not.
Pinili.
The girls know. No.
Okay.
Not pinilit. But, in the first place, I rejected the opportunity of running for the position of governor. Why? Let me explain. Hold on. Okay. I was given 2 options before to run as the regional director of the Regional Council of the Mimaropa Scholars in our region, and then as the governor. And so I reflected on things, and then eventually I've realized that I want to be more. I want to serve more. I want to go out there and see what needs to get done. I didn't want to serve for compliance like what I said earlier, but I guess we gotta do that sometimes. But yeah, that's the very reason why I chose to be the regional director, and currently I am the regional director, rather than to be the governor, because I want to serve. I want to do something because I saw a problem and then I found a solution for it. And so that's the reason why I do things. I don't do things just because I was told to do so. That was my principle when they gave me the two options kung magiging governor or magiging regional director. And besides, I believe that at that time, I have served enough the studentry because I've been a student leader since high school until now. And so I believe that I was meant to be outside na, and not just inside a university being cornered by a lot of limitations then. But don't get me wrong, I am very grateful that it circled back to me, the position. Sometimes si Lord talaga ay medyo mapaglaro. Kaya to be honest, I haven't found the answer yet why it circled back to me. But I'm getting there. Sa 2 months ko, almost 2 months pa lang or 2 months na po, I've had a lot of realizations already. And I believe that those realizations were the reason why pinabalik sa akin ni God yung position. And then now, I'm very grateful to be in a collective that's full of talented leaders. Kaya kahit pa paano, hindi rin ako nahirapang mag-adjust. And so, yeah, I'm very grateful now that I'm the governor of our college and at the same time, the regional director of the regional council.
Wow. May different story talaga tayo.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Some things happen talaga.
sino ang gusto mag-volunteer next to answer the question?
Sino?
Sige, ako na lang magtuturo. Ikaw na lang.
Okay po. So, I have been part of SEDSO po for 3 years, pero different roles. So, when I was a first year, I was part of the PIO department as its content associate. And during my second year naman po, as I said earlier, I was the president of one of its sub-organizations, the Mathematics Major Organization, and now I am the governor. What made me say yes? Somehow, may pilitan na nangyari, pero not by someone or not by anyone, but by circumstances. Kasi po, ganito, wala pong gustong tumakbo for SEDSO. So, yung party ko lang po, yun lang po ang tumakbo. So, I was the governor by default. Kasi po, parang inaasahan na rin po ng student leaders at that time na kami po yung tatakbo ng buong party ko po. So, wala na rin po talaga ibang tumakbo. And parang, yung conscience po na parang, kung walang tatakbo, paano na lang po yung SEDSO next year or this year? So, that is what pushed me po na tumakbo po for SEDSO. And at the same time po, what inspired me is also during my second semester of second year, dun po kasi yung time na marami na ako naging close po na student leaders. Kumbaga, hindi na lang ako confined within the mathematics major. And interacting with all those people po na may heart talaga for leadership, maninurture din po talaga ng lalo pa yung heart mo for service. And fortunately, kasama ko po yung mga tao na talagang may puso po sa leadership within our organization. And that is what's pushing me po na kahit mahirap po yung pagiging governor at tuloy-tuloy pa rin.
Yes, talaga makikita mo sa sagot ng ating governor from SEDSO na kung wala kang heart sa ginagawa mo, hindi ka talaga makaka-continue. Right? So, sino next na gusto sumagot?
Ano lang po.
Yes.
Ayan. So, sa akin naman po, bibigyan ko lang din po kayo ng konting brief background kung ano pong nangyari sa buhay estudyante ko. Ako po din nung high school, actually, kahit black officer po ako, hindi po talaga ako gumagalaw. So, the moment I entered college, nakita ko po yung student organization, isa po yung sinabi ko, never po ako mapasok sa student organization. Parang nasa isip ko lang po, what's in their mind, bakit nila ito ginagawa. Alam naman natin na wala siyang kapalit. So, ayun po. Pero at the time, nung first year po ako, nabigyan agad ako ng opportunity to be a president. And I was challenged. So, since I knew my capabilities naman, I challenged myself also na to say yes to that. And ayun po, naging president ako naging EIC ako. And there, syempre, pag nandun ka na, nandun na din yung interest mo. So, I was also interested na sa nangyayari sa college namin, kung ano na po yung mga nangyayari, kung ano na nangyayari sa buong university. And I saw a lot of things that are beautiful, and at the same time, things that are needed to be changed. So, parang di ko alam, I had fun walking papers po. Kahit ang hirap humarap sa mga tao, ang hirap
Na-enjoy mo?
Opo, nai-enjoy ko po na napapagalitan ako minsan, napapagsabihan. Kapag meron po kaming nagagawa na imposible, tapos po, dadaanin namin sa mga ganitong paraan. Parang, oh my gosh, yung joy, iba yung pakiramdam. So, hindi ko siya gawain dati, pero feeling those things encourage me. Okay, I like what I'm doing. And so, ayun po, actually first year ako. So, hindi mo po maiisip na pag first year ka, second year governor ka na. Kasi parang ano po yun eh. Parang that's a big leap. And it's something na hindi recommendable, I must say, kung iisipin mo po. Pero ayun, I was encouraged by someone before na you're capable and you have a potential. So, ako naman po, potential, ano yung nakikita sa akin na hindi ko nakikita. So there, I trusted the words of those people na since may nakikita sila sa akin, what if, palaguin ko kung ano man yun. So there, I tried knowing myself better. Tinignan ko po yung mga areas kung saan ako mahina, kung saan po ako malakas. And then po, actually first time pa lang, nung first year ako, nagkabalak na po ako, okay, sige, let's try challenging So hindi po ako napilitan talaga, I really wanted it. And alam ko po yung challenge along the way na haharapin ko once na tinik ko po yung responsibility. And actually po may kalaban ako second year and may experiences na po siya sa organization. So I was really scared at the same time, pero ayun, I still took the challenge kasi nga po if I wanted something to change, hindi ako pwede manood. Kailangan na din akong gagawin.
Yeah.
So ayun po, ayun, I was encouraged. I tried finding people na talagang makakasama ko. And ayun po, successfully naman, I am with the people na talagang okay. And knowing that those people na alam kong capable then also has a love for leadership and service, hindi lang po leadership but also service. Ayun po, sila yung nakakasama ko ngayon and those are the trusted people that I am with. And sila din po yung nagkikip ng sanity ko as of the moment. So kung wala po sila, siguro
Shout out to sila.
Shoutout po sa Sisimali sa officers. Ayun po. So sila po talaga yung nakakaintindi. So there din po, I said yes to being a student leader, specifically the governor position, kahit mataas siya, kahit mahirap. Kasi nga po, ayun, I wanted to serve. And yun po, yung calling, parang nandun din po yung calling.
Yes. So sabi nga natin, huwag tayong magsalita ng tapos, di ba?
Yes.
Mag-leaders.
Totoo po.
Ngayon, dito ka na. So, gumagawa talaga si Lord ng way para yung gift natin ma-exercise ng bawat isa. Kasi blessing din yan galing sa ating Lord. Okay? So, next.
Okay po. Sa akin naman po, like what I've said earlier po, 'di ba? Wala naman po akong ganun ka lawak na experience when it comes to leadership. And baguhan, I would say newbie pa lang po ako pagdating sa larangan na ito. And sa totoo lang po, nung pumasok po ako dito sa main campus, dito sa College of Business and Accountancy, binigyan po kasi nila ako ng opportunity na tumakbo agad sa mataas na posisyon. And yun po talaga, medyo nagulantang ako kasi o-offeran ka ng malaking posisyon tapos wala ka pang masyadong experience. Parang, carry ko ba? Parang ask ko na lang po kasi sa sarili mo minsan, bakit naman sila magtitiwala sa akin? Bakit naman nila ako bibigyan ng ganito kataas na posisyon kaagad, knowing na ganun nga po yung background ko. Pero, yun nga po, naging Vice Governor. Last year po, Vice Governor po ako ng College of Business and Accountancy Student Organization. And, sa totoo lang po, grabe din po talaga yung doubts ko din sa sarili ko that time. Sabi ko nga po, kaya ko pa ba na pumasok sa governor position, given na yung ibang tao po kasi nag-expect sila na kapag nasa vice governor position ka, magja-jump ka na to another position, which is the governor position. And that's one thing na nakakaano po talaga, nakapag-add sa pressure. And nagdadalawang isip po talaga ako that time kung ipupush ko pa yung position for governor since nakakatakot po talaga yung, especially given na the responsibility na inahawakan po ng mga governors ngayon. Sabi, wala. So, yun nga po, siguro masasabi ko na nakapag-encourage sa akin siguro sa mga tao po na naniwala talaga sa akin. Kasi may mga tao din po kasi talaga na nagbibigay ng encouragement sa akin. Nag-ask din po ako ng mga advices sa kanila since bago lang din ako sa posisyon na yon. And yes po, nag-go na po talaga ako since isa na rin po sa reason, mahirap po iwanan ang sibaso. Nakakatakot din po na baka mamaya, baka wala ding ibang kumuha ng, alam mo yun, syempre po, concerned ka lang din po sa magiging kakatakbuhan po ng system po sa loob ng organization. And isa pa po, may mga areas din po ako nakita kasi talaga na kailangan pa ng improvement. Alam niyo po yun, yung mga bagay na lacking pa talaga. And sa tingin ko naman po, me as a person, I know also my capabilities and I believe po na sa tulong din po ng mga kasamahan ko, kaya po namin na makapag-offer sa students ng kung ano man po yung deserve nila. Yun lang naman po for me.
Okay.
Yes po.
Thank you. And last?
Well, my story goes kind of deep. I've been a student leader for 4 years now. This is hopefully my last year. Sana, wag na nadagdagan.
Nagpa-advance ka na.
Wag na dagdagan. But during this past election period, I experienced one of the biggest heartbreaks of my life. For those who know me, maybe you know, pero syempre, marami hindi nakakilala sa akin. I was supposed to run for presidency sa SSC. And I was declared qualified and then later declared disqualified. And in fact, I was informed that I was disqualified habang nagmamock defense kami sa thesis study. So I was facing the mock panel. I read it habang nasa introductory parts pa lang ako. And I had to go through 1.5 hours of mock defense without breaking eye contact from the panel, without breaking down and crying. I kept it all to myself. And then after pumunta na yung press ESC to exit dun sa PowerPoint, tapos nagpa-pack up na yung panel, I faced my groupmate, I held her hand, I broke down to the floor, and I cried. During that time, after accepting what happened, I realized na for the past 3 years of being a student leader, I got exposed to everything that I didn't even expect na may expose ako. When I entered student leadership, hindi ko naman ina-expect na magiging performer ako, na magiging host ako. Hindi ko ina-expect na papadalhin ako dito sa mga contests na to, na magiging representative ako ng RSU, and that somehow, kung saan ako pumunta, maa-attach ang pangalan ng RSU sa akin. Ikaw yung sa RSU, ikaw yung pinadala ng RSU dito ganyan. Ikaw yung nasa tarpaulin sa labas ng RSU. I've experienced that and more. So when I gave up on the idea of even fighting for my position, biglang may mga lumapit sa akin, saying na, maybe this is your sign na mag-college governor ka. Kasi matagal nila sinasabi sa akin nun, mag-governor ka, mag-governor ka. And I've always rejected the idea. Masasabi ko na pag-file ko ng COC ko sa kaso, it was because of pressure. And when I filed the COC online, I sat there for a moment thinking, wow, ito ang patunay na people pleaser talaga ako. Kasi hindi ko finite eh. And I did it not for myself, but for the people who told me, go, i-file mo. And I didn't even want it. But alas, I accepted that thought kasi nga, ayokong ma-disappoint sila sa akin. But I was a graduating student. I'm a graduating student. Ang grabe ng schedule namin. Sobrang nakaka-pressure na una pa lang masasabi ko na talaga hindi ko gusto na pumasok as governor. Pero wala na eh. Naka-file na yung COC. So, I pushed through with it. And I prayed to the Lord for several days, several nights. Lord, sana matalo ako. Ang kalaban ko ay kaklase ko rin. At ang mga kasama ko, mostly graduating rin. So, alam ko na kung mabibisi sila, mas mabibisi ako, eh pareho na nga kami ng problema. Kung hindi sila available, hindi rin ako available. Lord, sana matalo ako. And then may uma-update sa akin from time to time during the elections. Gov, ang laki ng lamang mo. Sabi ko, ba't Gov natawag mo sa akin? Ikaw na mananalo. And I broke down and cried kasi I didn't want it at all. And then pumasok ako sa school. I knew the results. Even before it was posted online, I knew that I had already won. And my friends and the people who have been standing by me as fellow student leaders, fellow servant leaders dito sa RSU. Diyan pa lang ako sa hallway sa gate 1. They ran up to me and they hugged me. Tas yung isa kong friend talagang, he lift me up. He was so happy and then he kept calling me, Gov, Gov, Gov. And I looked at my friends. Tumingin pa ako sa guard kasi close kami ni guard eh. And then sabi ni guard sa akin, Neng, congrats. And then, that's when I had it sink into my heart na siguro ito yung plot twist talaga na tinutukoy nila. Because I applied last minute. I was an independent running candidate. I didn't have a party to support me. All I had was myself. Minsan nga nagigilty ako kasi parang feeling ko dahil sa popularity, almost, na lagi ako nakikita, lagi akong exposed kaya ako nanalo and not really about what I can do. Pero, somehow, dahil sa mga encouragement ng friends ko, I managed to brush it aside and just remember na for the past 3 years na kaya kong mag-serve, it wouldn't hurt to serve 1 more year. So, pinangatawanan ko. Naging governor ako ng kaso. And we're here right now. We're struggling. We're getting by. I'm not saying that we're functioning properly. No. We're chaotic. Really problematic. I don't want it to seem like I'm okay, we're okay. We're not doing okay. Kasi nga, we had lives outside of student leadership. We have priorities. Gusto na din namin graduate. Pero syempre, kapag talagay tayong tinawag ng serbisyo, it's not that you need to be qualified.
Yes.
Kasi, ito ay gusto ko na lang din i-share before I end my answer. In church, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, by the way. That's why I keep referencing the church. Because I'm an active church member sa aming simbahan. And then, I remember, tinawag ako para kumanta with a group. And then, the song had these lyrics in the chorus. It said, God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Yes. And that was the most amazing thing I've ever heard. So, dala-dala ko siya hanggang ngayon. It's not that I had to be qualified to become a governor. It's that God qualified me as He called me to be the governor. And kahit ayaw ko nung una, He has a purpose as to kung bakit nandito ako. At paninindigan ko to, not because I can, but because He can do it for me.
Wow. Yes. Thank you so much for the answer. Pang Miss Universe ang answer natin mga governors. No? Thank you. Talagang, pag tinawag ka talaga being leader, hindi mo talaga may iwasan. No? Kahit anong iwas mo, uy, leader ka pa din.
Bumabalik.
Right? Bumabalik. Fiona and si April, this is for you. What's something people don't see about being a student leader? Fiona.
Sige, sigaw, Bea.
Okay, sige. Madami pong hindi, actually, madaming hindi nakikita behind the scenes. Kasi nga, behind eh.
Behind.
Diba? Literal, madami po. And nakikita ko yun na madami silang hindi nakikita because of how they respond. And ayun. Kasi when it comes to student leadership, actually, hindi, not to brag, but kami talaga yung frontliners. So, we have to know everything, we have to be sensitive of everything, we have to know everything talaga na ano ba yung dinideal namin. So, behind the scenes, syempre, may struggles, may achievements, and hindi ka pwedeng mag-dream ng something na maaabot mo without doing anything. So, behind those achievements, behind those everything na na-achieve ng org, mga events, yung mga panalo, yung mga ganong bagay, there's a lot of effort. And it takes time and nakakapagod. Physically, emotionally, mentally, lahat ng need. Ayun. And I guess that's something na hindi nakikita ng students or ng ibang tao. Kasi syempre, lalo na as a governor, kahit even sa council, may mga bagay na hindi talaga nakikita ng iba. Siguro hindi din na nakikita yung chaos behind it. Na okay, naging okay yung event, pero behind, ano ba talaga yung nangyari? Ano yung challenges? Ano yung mga pagkukulang? Ano yung mga napapansin na, bakit mo napapansin yung mga mali?
Yes.
Dapat hindi mo na yan pinapansin. Dapat nakapokus ka dun sa... Yes, dapat nakapokus ka dun sa maganda. Pero no, kasi those things na nagkamali tayo, we should be addressing that. We should be correcting that. And that's something na hindi madali po.
So sa mga audience natin, be mindful sa inyong mga words na sasabihin sa ating, especially sa ating mga leaders, kasi ginagawa talaga na yung best nila para maging maayos ang organization, right? So, next po.
Talaga. Parang nasabi rin naman lahat ni Gov yung areas regarding that. Pero joke lang, Gov. Pero syempre po, as the governor of our college, well, yes po, I agree na hindi naman po kasi lahat ay nakikita ng mga students,
Yes.
'di ba? Sa kung ano po yung nangyayari inside the organization. Well, nakikita po nila yung achievements, yung recognitions, yung exposures, yung mga activities. Ano pa ba? Yung mga kamalian. Alam niyo yun, lahat-lahat. Pero ang hindi po kasi nakikita ng mga tao sa amin is, yes, I get, yung ganun din po yung sabi ni Gov, yung effort ng bawat officers, yung hard work nila na pinuput nila sa bawat activities, sa bawat gagawin ng council, sa isang organization. Yung mga challenges na kinakaharap namin, also, ano po ba? Na, mostly nasabi na rin ni Gov eh. Pero yes po, yun po talaga yung hindi po talaga nakikita ng mga tao. Pero I believe it's okay lang naman na hindi naman kailangan malaman nila lahat eh. Kasi tayo mismo, alam natin yung ginagawa natin. And kung alam naman natin na ginagawa natin yung kung ano yung para sa mga ano yung deserve ng mga students, and magpatuloy lang tayo as student leaders. Huwag tayong makikinig sa mga negative, 'di ba? Pero it's okay lang naman na tumanggap ng mga constructive criticisms, right? As student leaders, it is also important since that is also part of our growth as not just as individuals but as leaders. And that's one thing po na sabi ko lang po sa passion po.
So, alam ko na kahit sobrang dami kayong natatanggap or nababato na mas marami ata yung mga negative kaysa positive minsan. Pero ang importante, yung mga taong sumusuporta sa inyo is nandyan pa rin, na hindi kayo iniiwan. Yun yung pinakamahalaga sa lahat, na meron kayong kasama at nandyan sila para patuloy na samahin kayo at yung sa service nyo is hindi kayo stop sa likod, yan pinakamahalaga. Alright, so let's continue. Unahin naman natin si Shulamite. Did I pronounce it right?
Shulamite po.
Shulamite. Alright. So, what's a moment where you felt proud about yourself?
A moment, okay.
As a governor po.
Okay, as a governor. Honestly po, there's a lot of moments, pero these moments are not mine alone. Kasi they were only possible because of the effort of the whole organization po, ano. And it is not to brag, but to acknowledge po yung efforts po ng officers ko. So, for one po is, ang SADSO po, I think, it's safe to say po na very active organization po kami. lahat po ng months, except for November, December, and January, meron po kaming activity, 1 to 2 activities na kinakandak po every month. And nakaka-proud po talaga yun kasi kahit isang event lang po, kahit isang araw lang po na event yan, ilang weeks po na preparation yan. And kapag nakandak mo po yan, there's this sense of pride na, kaya pala namin, kahit sobrang daming limitations, walang budget, kulang naman power, ganito, ganyan. And another moment po, or another something na nakaka-proud po is that, yung mga sinabi po namin nung meeting di Avance po, even though kami lang yung party no, nag-meeting di Avance pa rin po, nagawa po namin siya. Especially po, isa sa mga kinakaharap talaga ng every administration is yung attendance system po. Di ba po kasi sobrang dami estudyante, log in, log out, lagi yung aburido yung mga students kasi pag matagal, ganito, ganyan. Pero, we were able to craft a system po, a digital system po, na QR po siya. And it is not something that we outsource po yung gumawa. It's my idea po, pero ang production po nun ay buong officers po namin. And it's something po na hindi namin ginastusan, pero nakapag-generate po kami ng income. And yun po, yung nag-sustain po ng activities namin for the whole semester po, ng first semester. Kumbaga, lahat po ng activities po na nakandak ng SEDSO, wala pa po kami nababawas na pera sa taas.
Wow.
Yan. So, nakaka-proud po yun kasi talagang budget po talaga ang kalaban ng organizations. Pero, if we're talking about the most recent proud moment po, of course, it will be what happened yesterday. Yesterday po, for everyone's information, is the opening of Kasediahan 2026.
Congrats!
Yan po. One of the most proudest moment po as a governor is to open that event po na months of efforts po, months of delays, sweat, blood, tears po ang napunta sa event na yun. Pero we are more than halfway through kasi ang hihintay na lang namin po mamaya is the closing event. So, I was the one po who welcomed the guests, the students, and talaga pong nakaka-proud yun kasi I think sa lahat naman po ng governors, no, talaga nilook forward nating activity is yung college days.
Yes.
And it's such a relief po na nasimulan na namin siya and patapos na siya.
Congratulations, Aday, for the success of your event po. Gov Yuvanica.
All right. First, I would like to say that I am grateful for all the things that I was able to do with my team. And I would say that that's all God. No other reason. We did it because of Him.
Yeah.
We was able to do it because of Him.
Yeah.
We was able to think, we were able to think of the idea because of Him. So it's all God. And one thing, if there's one thing that I'm most proud of as the governor, is being able to really utilize the talents that my officers have. We don't get that sometimes. Sometimes, isa sa mga downfall ng mga leaders is not being in a good collective. And so I am really grateful and proud to be part of a collective that really takes action whenever we need to and whenever we want to, of course. And I would say that, yeah, that's it. That's just it. I'm proud because I am part of that great collective.
And thank you so much, Gov Nick, for that answer. How about Gov Precious?
Well, one of the things that I'm most proud of myself as the governor. Unang-una, personally, if I were to talk on my personal experience, I'm just really not proud but grateful, I guess, of the fact na kahit I had so many personal loads and personal burdens, ay nabibigyan pa din ako ng strength na maging governor ng Kaso. That's what I'm, most proud of and grateful for personally. But in terms of our organization, I would really like to say that I'm proud of the fact na yung absence ng iba, kung meron mang pagkukulang ay napupunan naman. Somehow. At isa yun sa pinagmamalaki ko. Kasi nga, like I said, I'm a pet finder. And I have this satisfaction na nararamdaman kapag alam ko na kahit may hurdle ay nalalagpasan. Kahit merong pagkukulang, napupunan. So whenever that happens, I feel not pride for myself, but pride for our organization na nakaya yun. Like, possible pala talaga yun. And it's like, nagiging BDO kami.
We find
somehow.
ways.
Kasi we find ways talaga. That's one thing I'm most proud of our organization. And like they said kanina, sobrang daming criticisms. And many of those criticisms, talagang, alam mo yung hindi mo na malunok yung words na sinasabi nila. That's how vulgar they seem sometimes. Ang pinaka-proud lang talaga ako sa council namin is that wala siyang effect on our personal or leadership journey. Kasi, kung meron mang mga ganon, hindi na kasi siya criticism, bashing na siya. Kahit merong naririnig na ganon, still patuloy pa rin, still walang nagre-resign, thankfully. Wala ding bigla na lang nag-MIA, ganon. Kumbaga, we are still somewhat encouraged to work and to serve kahit may mga narinig kaming ganito, kahit may mga na-experience kaming ganyan. That's one thing that I'm really proud of as a governor of our college. Again, it's not just because of myself, but sobrang laking factor ang staff namin, ng mga high chamber officers namin, kahit ang mga volunteers po namin, students na hindi naman student leaders, pero nagvo-volunteer kapag kailangan ng tulong. I am so grateful and so blessed and so humbled by the fact na as governor, nawi-witness ko na kahit yung mga students ng CAS, humingi ka ng tulong, nandyan sila at very much willing sila. So, I'm just so proud of that. Sobrang swerte ng College of Arts and Sciences.
Wow. Sana lahat ng colleges ganun ng students, no? Kasi napakasarap din maging leader kapag yung students or student from that college will support you talaga sa ginagawa. Thank you po sa inyong sagot. So, for this question, this is for Gov Nick again and Gov Shula. Okay? So, syempre being a student and then leader pa kayo. So, what is the hardest part?
Okay.
Sige, ikaw
Can
na
I go first?
Yes.
Ulit. All right. Being a student, let's start there. That is already the hardest part. Being a student at the same time. Let's start there. Okay, so, well, I will not say especially, okay, kasi I really believe that each college, each courses has different level of difficulty. And so I will just say na as a student, as a normal student trying to get there, sana makagraduate on time, Lord. Trying to get there, it's really hard to jumble all the tasks with just a day that's composed of 24 hours only.
Yes.
Okay, let's start there again.
Nakarelate lahat
24
ng
hours
governor.
only. And so if you can see the list of my tasks, and then of course, let's sing it, the meals, the meriendas, the sleep. Kulang yung 24 hours. Personally, I would say na that's one of the hardest things to ipagkasya lahat dun sa 24 hours. Of course, not neglecting rest. I've learned that the hard way. As a student leader, we cannot neglect rest as much as possible. That's what I have been doing before, but I learned it the hard way to not do it again now. And so as much as possible, I try to sing it rest whenever I get to, whenever I can. And medyo mas napadali siya somehow actually. Kasi when we get to rest, we become more productive. And one more thing, keeping things together despite of all the things na pwede kang mapabaliw. Yes. Keeping things together to stay sane. I believe that that's one of the hardest thing also of being a student leader. Sometimes, just like what Gov Bayab said earlier, there's this phrase na, "Uy, wala namang kapalit yan. Bakit nagpapakapagod ka?" Wala namang sahod yan eh. We get that a lot. I personally get that a lot from different people also. From my friends. They keep on telling me na, nagpapahinga ka pa ba? Natutulog ka pa ba? They keep on asking me those questions. Why do you do that? Wala ka namang sahod. Why do you keep on doing things for other people? And you know what? The answer is, I get happiness from doing all of those things. It satisfies me. Yes, it is hard, but it satisfies me. Don't you worry. Okay, I got this because I have God. Just like what I've mentioned earlier, I'm an instrumental leader because I believe that's my calling, that I am meant to serve, because God is taking very well care of me. And so it is only right for me to take care of His people as well. And yeah, to make things simple, the hardest part of leading while being a student as well is juggling all the tasks and keeping things together. But it is important also to note that we have God, so magsumbong-sumbong lang and then work ulit and we'll do just fine.
Yes. Thank you. Since na may God talaga tayo sa
Yes.
buhay natin, lahat nagiging madali kahit sobrang hirap. Right?
The
So
root.
let's proceed po sa next. Yes.
Okay. Habang pinag-iisipan ko yung tanong na yan, ma'am, kanina, parang gusto kong maiyak. kasi ngayon, moment ko siya or ngayong buwan ko siya talagang nadama. Kasi di ba po, may kasedyahan po kami.
Yes.
So, just 5 days ago lang po, na-finalize po yung date ng kasedyahan. So, ang preparations po namin ay last week lang. Now, nagsabay po last week yung thesis proposal defense po namin. So, habang nagpe-prepare po for kasedyahan, inaalala ko po yung thesis. Nabanggit ko po kanina na kaya po ako nanalo by default ay dahil wala pong gustong tumakbo. Kasi po, ina-expect po ng College of Education na magiging SADS officers po ay 3rd year. However po, 3rd year po kasi ang pinakamalalang taon sa College of Education or I think sa lahat naman ng colleges. Yan, especially po sa mathematics kasi yung thesis proposal po or yung thesis po kasi namin isang semester lang po siya. So, kailangan po namin yun matapos ngayon para po makapag-OJT po kami next time or else, madidelay po yung graduation namin. Ayan. So, at the same time po, Yuvanica and I are DOST scholars po. So, that alone po carries a lot of pressure na po. And I also have a personal goal po of hopefully graduating with Latin honors, if possible. Yun po talaga yung yun din po yung one reason po why ayoko talaga sana tumakbo ng SEDSO. Kasi ang goal ko po talaga is, or ang priority ko po talaga ay academics. Pero when you're in the position already, hindi mo kasi kayang i-ignore po yung responsibilities mo as a leader kasi hindi lang sarili mo yung dala mo. Dala mo rin yung ibang mga tao. Pag academics kasi, ikaw lang, sarili mo lang yung responsibility mo. But when you're a governor, dala mo yung buong college. So even if sabihin mo na priority mo yung academics, kapag kailangan ka papiliin sa dalawa, doon ka pupunta sa governor duties mo. Kasi mas marami maapektuhan kapag hindi mo ginawa yung duties mo. And now po, namamblema ako kasi parang yung kasedyahan, matatapos na siya, dapat happy ako. Pero at the same time, hindi ko magawang masaya kasi nakakaiyak na yung mga kaklase ko po, halimbawa, nakapasa na sila ng revised manuscript after ng test proposal. So, makakapag-proceed na po sila sa implementation. Pero kami po ng grupo ko, feeling ko na-stress na yung mga thesis mates ko kasi hindi po kami makaproceed kasi sobrang divided po ng attention ko for the kasedyahan. So, pag natapos talaga yung araw na to, thank you, Jo, makaka-focus na rin ako sa thesis. And few more activities na lang po, then election na po ulit for new set of SADS officers. Tingin ko naman po ay satisfied na po ako sa mga nagawa ko po for SAD kasi even though yun nga po ang priority ko naman talaga ay academics, masabi ko naman po na hindi ko talaga napabayaan po yung duties ko as a governor even though may mga limitations po.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much. Grabe talaga yung pressure lalo na scholar pala kayo, no? So, sa advisor nyo, what is one value you carry with you as a woman leader?
Okay, so what one value that I carry as a woman leader? Well, I would say that humility po talaga. That's one thing na binavalue ko po as a leader, as a female leader. Because it keeps us grounded po. And it helps us to connect with other people. That's one thing na lagi ko pong sinasapuso ko, being a humble student, a humble person. And yan din po kasi ang laging pinapasok sa, laging binibigay sa akin, pinapaalala sa akin ng mga parents ko.
Yes.
To always keep your feet on the ground. Kung ano man ang mangyari, kung ano man ang marating mo sa buhay.
Yan. Thank you. Napakagandang sagot.
Thank you
Actually, minsan kapag leader ka, yung mga students, pag parang ang taas ng tingin sa'yo, natatakot sila, di ba,
Opo.
lumapit. Parang, nakakatakot, parang ang taray ni Go. Pero kapag may humility ka, hindi
Yes,
sila
po.
maiyang lumapit sa'yo. And then may freedom sila na sabihin yung dapat ganito Go, ganito ganyan. No?
Yes po.
Yun. So kanina Tion na yung sabi ko sa'yo. Sorry, Tion. Kay Tion.
So, same question po kay Gov.
Yes po.
April, no? Sa akin po, number 1 talaga is yung integrity.
Mhm.
Number 1 po talaga yan. Kasi, pag you keep your integrity, I guess, doon ka talaga laging, pipiliin mo yung tama. Hindi mo pipiliin kung ano yung pabor sa madami, hindi mo pipiliin kung ano yung tingin mong, saan sila magiging masaya. Rather, you will choose the right path, kung ano yung tama. And that is what I'm trying to keep as a governor. That was, I always remind my council, the student organization na, okay, dapat ganito tayo kasi hindi tayo umaayon lang sa kung ano lang yung gusto nila. Dapat nagiging sensitive tayo sa kung ano din yung tingin nating tama. Kasi kapag nasa tama ka, I believe, I mean, hindi mo makukuha yung favor ng lahat. Pero once na nasa tama ka, things will be much easier at some point. And malinis. I mean, malinis ka. Kahit anong sabihin ng tao, alam mo na, okay, we keep our integrity. Kahit sabihin ng tao na ganito, sabihin ng tao na ganyan, urakot, ganyan. We know na behind the scene na we keep our integrity. So kahit anong sabihin ng tao, nandun kami sa kung ano yung tama. And that's not something na madali din kasi nga minsan hindi mo makukuha yung pabor na bakit ganyan, ang KJ naman, ang ano naman, ang parang pinipigilan mo kung ano yung masaya. But no, ayun nga. So, ayun. And also, thinking na I'm not always right. Ayun talagang iniisip na I'm always right. Pero there are instances na tingin ko tama yung ginagawa ko. Pero, ayun nga, as I said earlier, upon hearing kung ano yung sinasabi ng council na, Gov, baka ganito, tingin ko ganito, Gov, or meron silang nilalapit na concern, that is where I start reflecting and reflecting. Hindi pwedeng mawala yung reflecting and self-evaluation. Kasi nga po, pag nasa taas tayo, minsan talaga hindi mawawala hindi natin naiiwasan na tingin natin, dahil may authority ako, ganito, dapat may ganyan. And you have to be reminded, that's very important, na no, you're not always right. And sometimes yung ganong attitude can lead to circumstances na hindi maganda kasi nga, ayun, hindi mo pinapakinggan yung iba. So, that is what I tried on building ever since nagsisimula pa lang po ako, na to be able to see and to be able to reflect on myself kung talaga pang ano yung tama and ano yung mali. So, ayun po, in overall, we're always dapat in the right. Yan.
Okay. Thank you, Gov. So, ang dami kong natutunan sa inyo talaga. So, hopefully lahat ng audience natin is marami nakuha sa napakaganda nating mga governors. Siguro itong last question is ibibigay ko na lang sa kay Gov Shula na lang, no? Because ikaw yung may recent na activity ngayon. So, siguro sa'yo talaga itong question na to. What advice would you like to give to a woman who are afraid to lead?
Okay po. So, I did a interview po with Harrow, no? And I said there na leadership is never about something as trivial as gender. Anyone can be a leader whether you are born male or female. Kasi ang pinaka-importante po is how you show up as a leader. Now, the advice that I could give someone po is you will not always have the opportunity to pick the people who will lead with you. But if you do have that opportunity, make sure to do or to pick smartly. Kasi po, sila yung magkikip ng sanity mo Kasi you will not always be at your best. So it's important to have a strong support system po. Kasi sa totoo lang po, hindi ko kakayanin ang SEDSO kung wala po ang mga officers ko, especially ang elected officers ko, ang vice governor ko po. Shout out kay Alexa, hindi ko talaga kaya ang SEDSO kung wala ka. Para po kasi kami, sa SEDSO po kasi wala talaga kaming hierarchy po. So parang ang nangyayari po, ako po yung sa internal, then my vice governor is the one who faces the people po. Yan, kasi meron po akong weaknesses and din po yung strengths niya. Then yung weaknesses niya po, yun po yung strengths ko. So, ganun din po sa iba po naming officers, si Arvin, si Cheska, si Jerem, lahat sila Gian. Ayan, so thank you so much everyone. Yun po ang mai-advise ko talaga. Pick the right people to lead with you.
Yes, so napaka-importante din ang tamang tao. Sabi ko nga kanina na hindi mahirap pumili yung mga tao na magstay lang sa'yo, magiging faithful sa'yo, na hindi ka stub sa back. So, blessed din kayo sa inyong mga officers dahil sila yung katulong niyo. So, thank you guys. Magpasalamat kayo sa inyong mga officers.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Wow, grabe. What an inspiring vision, all of you. And it is exciting to imagine how your leadership journeys will continue after college. And to our governors, thank you so much for sharing your voices, your realities, your aspirations with us today. And of course, your stories reflect the strength and promise of the next generation women leaders in Romblon State University. And to everyone tuning in live stream, we hope you are enjoying today's conversation. And also, we'd like to thank our live audiences. Say hi naman kayo dyan sa camera, guys. We hope you are enjoying today's conversation and finding inspiration in these honest and empowering stories. As we close this episode, one thing becomes clear. Leadership is not defined by age, position, or status alone. It is shaped by purpose, service, courage, and the willingness to grow. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break. As we reflect on today's episode, we are reminded that women's leadership takes many forms. It can be seen in public service, where decisions are made and communities are shaped. It can be seen in student organizations, where young leaders begin to discover their voice, their strength, and their capacity to make a difference. It can be seen in conversations like this, where stories are shared, experiences are honored, and wisdom is passed from one generation to another. This National Women's Month, may we continue to celebrate women not only for what they achieve, but also for the courage, compassion, and purpose they bring into every space they enter. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Kyla A. Yap and to our female college organization governors from Sibaso, CASO, SEDSO, SEDSO, and CC Madiso for making this episode meaningful and inspiring. Our sincere thanks as well to the RSU Gender and Development Office under the leadership of Ms. Caroline D. Fitalver for partnering with us in making this special episode possible. This has been Coffee Break Episode 6. She leads the power of her leadership, where stories are shared, voices are celebrated, and excellence is brewed one conversation at a time. Once again, this is Eliza from Office of Media and Public Affairs, and you've been with us on Coffee Break, where every great story begins with a cup of coffee. Until our next cup of conversation, happy National Women's Month, RSUvians!